Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Madrid. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome our liberal and democrat family in Spain. Spanish society is a tolerant one, open to the world, respectful of diversity, and welcoming to others. I truly hope you are enjoying your stay here in Madrid, in our city. I would also like to thank all of you for joining us in a crucial time for the future of Europe. Today we show that liberal progressive forces are strong in the south of Europe. In Spain, Ciudadanos is growing as the alternative to populisms and nationalisms. And we will be a force in the government soon, I promise. Together we are confronting those who want to raise division and hate in Europe. And that is good news, but it's also an evidence that something is going or something is not working. The economic crisis, the mismanagement with the migration crisis, the decision of British voters to leave the European Union, and the growing support of the populists and nationalists across Europe are the evidence of the disenchantment. Citizens in Europe need to feel they have a say, and their say is heard. Rational arguments and policies are necessary, of course, but are not enough for winning citizens' hearts. We also need an inspiring and hopeful discourse for Europe. We need less bureaucracy. We need more values in this moment. The challenges of today are greater than any nation state of its own. Climate change does not stop at the national borders. Terrorism does not stop at the national borders. Digitalization does not stop at national borders. So the world has changed, and so we should change. So far, traditional parties on the left and the right have failed to facilitate change. They have usually regarded Europe as something that was given. Their inability to adapt to social and economic change has given citizens the idea that the European Union is something like a bureaucratic giant that cannot be useful and cannot be reformed. Well, it can be reformed, and we will do it together. We have also seen how populisms and nationalisms have managed to get more and more support in national elections. On the left, we have seen how these ideas are already in governments in Greece, in Italy with extremists of Liga, and here in Spain, in alliance with the socialist government. On the right, these ideas are present in all German state parliaments and most national parliaments, and ruling in Italy, Poland, Austria, or Hungary. Now we have a confrontation between two visions of Europe. One that primes national self-interest over our collective project, and the other, our purpose, that primes the common ground over what divides us. It's just the difference between the ones who want to destroy the European Union and the ones who want to relaunch the European dream. The battle is on the table. Nationalism and populism against liberals and democrats. We must lead the alliance between moderated European people. We must beat the extremist forces in the polls in May. We must convince the Europeans that our values, union, equality, liberty, are better for our society than the counter-values of them that can destroy our continent like some decades ago. And what now? We are an historical moment. We are going to the polls next year in order to choose what kind of Europe we want to live in. The European Parliament elections of May will shape our future, and we have a unique opportunity to respond to citizens' demand. What are they waiting for? Well, I think it's very simple. They want a Europe that works. They want a Europe that works, and we must do it. And how can we do that? Well, the liberal progressive family has been successful in triggering reforms that help make European institutions more transparent, more effective, and more efficient. Our values have contributed to forming greatest coalitions at the European level, but also our prime ministers and party leaders have fostered reforms in the national parliaments, and also our majors and regional leaders have implemented them. But I think that this time will be different. Now there are forces openly saying that they want division, hate, and intolerance. So, the idea that sovereignty can only be national is wrong. True sovereignty is the ability to act collectively, to tackle the major issues of our century. If these issues transcend national borders, how can our solutions be confined to those borders? What we need is a Europe and European sovereignty that also transcends national borders. We need to unite people from all the European countries who want to defend our values, who defend our open societies, and who defend our open economies. We need to bring along citizens and movements committed to reforming Europe while preserving its fundamental values. We need to build a stronger and broader alliance of centrists to conquer the hearts and the minds of the voters. And I am convinced that ALDE must be at the core of that alliance. But I think that we must be generous. I think that to be stronger, we must be generous. So we should know that for this challenge, we have to open our arms. We should be open to others pro-European movements and leaders, like our brothers in France, La République en Marche, and President Macron. Thank you. Astrid is with us. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Thank you for being in Madrid with us. If we are together, we are stronger. And I am sure that we will be successful. And then Europe will be a better place to live in. Now let me explain. Now let me explain these last words in Spanish just for a minute. Necesitamos construir una alianza fuerte y amplia entre los centristas y liberales europeos. ¿Y para qué? Para derrotar a los verdaderos adversarios nuestros y de Europa, los nacionalistas y los populistas. Para eso hay que sumar. Estoy convencido que el núcleo duro, el corazón de esa alianza es ALDE, son los liberales demócratas. Pero no nos equivoquemos, tenemos que ser generosos. Si queremos ser fuertes, tenemos que ser generosos. Tenemos que abrir los brazos a aquellos líderes proeuropeos y movimientos proeuropeos, como nuestros hermanos de la República en Marche y del presidente Macron. Sin duda, si vamos juntos, seremos más fuertes. Y si somos más fuertes, tendremos éxito. Y si tenemos éxito, Europa será un lugar mucho mejor para vivir. This new alliance has to make possible a new beginning for Europe, a project that will renew the promises of our founding values, peace, prosperity, freedom, and solidarity, while providing a response to the challenge of our future. In these historic times, we need to bring together all those convinced that openness, tolerance, and democracy, and the rule of law must be the driving forces in the new Europe. This Europe will be defined by progress and shaped by reforms, delivering an Europe that is sovereign and able to defend its interests, but also to protect our citizens. I am willing to compromise, and we have been actively working with our teams to create this broad alliance of pro-European forces, leaving aside our difference. That is precisely what the liberals, Democrats represent. That is precisely what we have to do in the coming months. I am willing to build bridges, not to build walls. And I think that I am willing to find what unites us, not what divides us. Is the moment. Now, let's go to the work. Now, let's change Europe together. Europe is our future. Thank you.